Hello everyone. So I have taken the nanny guru outside. I'm in beautiful Epsom Downs in Surrey in England. I'll show you the views of London and the sky. Pretty grim, pretty grey, but it's all right. So today I just fancied kind of keeping it real and just talking a little bit more from the heart about some of the issues that I've seen parents face throughout my career. I hope that you can hear me okay. So one of the things that my hair. One of the things that I have seen a lot of the time, particularly with older children and teenagers, is just this kind of miscommunication with each other. You know, parents want to feel like they're closer with their kids and their teenagers, particularly now, you know, in a world where, you know, kids are so in their you know, social media and everything, and that's just normal life. It's normal life for kids now, and it's normal life for most adults too, but obviously a lot of adults didn't grow up with that, you know, that have children in this day and age. So you know, we're living completely different worlds to each other, you know, and so the more we can communicate with each other, the more you can communicate with your children and be close, is probably something you really, really want. And you know, so one of the things that I see as a key factor in being more connected, as not just, you know, parent and child, or parent and teen, it's just kind of like just getting to know each other as humans, you know, like actually building up a rapport and kind of getting to like each other, and really getting to know each other's worlds, you know, because often, you know, you can really get stuck in these roles, like I'm the parent, you're the child, you're the teenager, I teach you, you know, I protect you. Yes, I'm sure you have lots of laughs and lots of awesome times, but to have more of that, you know, and I know a lot of teens now are quite depressed, and that, you know, they get anxiety, and, you know, a lot of issues now which weren't a huge, you know, I'm sure they were always there, but not in such a manner that they are now. And you know, so yeah, to get closer with each other, I've got 3 key points, and the first key point is to listen and learn. Now, yeah, you're probably like, yeah, I listen to my kids all the time, like, don't be ridiculous. And absolutely you do, but what I mean when I say listen is, okay, so instead of just asking them, you know, get to know them, get to know more about them. You know, like, ask them about the silly things, ask them about, you know, what they're watching on YouTube, what, you know, because that's kind of what most people are doing now, isn't it? They're watching everything on YouTube. You know, ask them about the silly things, let them show you what they find funny, let them show you what was interesting that day, and just listen to them, like, ask them about that friendship, ask them, like, oh, are they going out with that person now? And just listen. And I know as a parent you're probably like, oh, I don't want to know about this, or oh yeah, I do want to know, but I want to know, and I want to know that it's all as it should be. You know, what I'm saying is if you want to connect more, so your children and your teens actually come to you and feel comfortable opening up to you about everything, and it's possible, and lots of parents do have that relationship, is because they don't knee-jerk react. You know, like, if their child is saying to them, like, okay, I, you know, blah blah hit blah blah, and you'll be like, what did you do? And you were like, oh, I was like, yeah, enjoying it. Or something wrong, you know, instead of being like, oh, you know, because a lot of the time parents, when children do open up to them, They either judge the situation, they either you know, try and fix things, try and control things, or just basically, you know, maybe teach them right from wrong, you know, or trying to protect the child, you know, like, right, that's it, I'm going to go down the school, you know. Leave it and let your child just tell you. Let your child just tell you. And, you know, this goes against every sort of natural instinct in you as a parent, but what will happen then is that they will feel free to tell you about perhaps the stuff they wouldn't normally tell their parents, because they know that you're not going to judge them. They know that you're not going to react. And, you know, and what you do then is, instead of being like, okay, well, that's wrong, you should have done this, that's not okay, oh, that's a load of rubbish, is just to listen to the whole thing and then ask them questions about it. So to be like, okay, so what did Millie do? Or what did you think about that? You know, and instead of you telling them what to do, you're kind of directing them into the solution and into the right thing themselves, without being all high and mighty, without being you know, parental kind of informant. You know, you show them the way, but also you're open enough for them to come to you and tell you anything. And, you know, because when you talk to your friends, when your friends talk to you, you give them that respect. You know, you wouldn't jump all over the conversation as they're telling you about, I don't know, something dodgy or something, whatever, that's boring. You wouldn't be like, oh God, you know, come on, this is, I've got no time for this. You know, because often parents are quite disrespectful to their children. You know, they can be like, oh, this is a load of rubbish. You know, you're only 10, you know, you've got plenty of time to have yes, you're an adult. Yes, you're their parent. Yes, you know that at the age of 10, they're most likely not going to be best friends with that same person for the entire duration of their lifespan. And you know at 14, you know, that's probably not going to be the person that they end up marrying, and they'll probably meet many lovely people, and it will all be fine. But honour the fact that they are going through this at the, you know, at this moment, and they do have emotions, they do have feelings, and they do feel those feelings. And whether you know in 5 years time you won't even remember this, like you might say that at the end, but honor the fact that that's what they're going through right now, that's what they're experiencing, you know. And you must have felt that way. You must have felt, you know, because most teenagers at some stage feel like they aren't understood by their parents, you know, they're not listened to. And isn't that a shame, because most of the time their parents probably felt like that way as well. Now, if we could just sort of sit down and be like, do you know what, just tell me everything, tell me whatever you want to say, and I'm just going to listen. And instead of knee-jerk reacting and judging them from your perspective, or getting involved and whatever, like I said previously, let them come to you, let them tell you everything, and just take it in, take it in, take it in. And if you must, ask them questions. You know, how did you react to that? Because if they are an older child and a teen, you know, they have got a sense of ethics in place by that stage. You know, they do know they're right from wrong. They do know what's okay and what's not, according to what you've taught them, according to what they know at school, according to lots of things. So, you know, you don't need to come down on them. You know, they are very intelligent creatures, very clever, and they'll have this knowing of what's okay and what's right. So have that respect for them, and they'll be like, do you know what? I feel respected by my parent. I feel like I can trust them. Because what happens a lot of the time, and it's probably happened to you as well as a parent, is you feel like, oh, actually, this might be a really nice time to tell them about this person or tell them about this situation. And then you go to tell them, and then they completely bulldoze the whole thing. And then you're like, no. And what happens then is teenagers and children don't want to come to you. They don't feel trusting that you're just going to accept what they're saying and listen to them as a human being, without all of that parental control. And that's the beautiful stuff, which is what builds really great relationships with each other. You know, it is that lovely stuff. So, you know, do more of that. Just stop and just, you know, when you catch yourself asking them about stuff, ask more, ask more. You know, sit down with them, give them a hug, like, tell me what's happened with blah blah today. Like, how is his boyfriend doing? Or, you know, how's blah blah doing with her? You know, don't make it formal. Don't, you know, just be chilled with them, you know, and relax and listen to them, and they will open up to you more and more and more. So also, the second thing I was going to say is learn from them, learn about them. You know, it's really easy as well as parents to get stuck in these, you know, and as children, to get stuck in these monotonous routines. And, you know, and it's like, unless you go on holiday, or unless there's like, I don't know, you know, something in particular that's special, that you end up sort of having those sorts of conversations. I'm going to walk. Golf is coming. People often don't have time for each other to really learn like what their fun stuff is, you know, and particularly now, like as I've said, where kids are so overwhelmed with social media, and they're, you know, they're on this thing and that thing, and they're catching up, and they're doing this and they're doing that, and they might fill you in on lots of it, and they might not. And, you know, regardless, like, let them show you all this stuff. Like, ask about it, you know, just be like, you know, I'm just inquisitive, I don't have a clue. You know, come from a place of, you know, I'm sure you do have a clue, I'm sure you've got your own social media yourself, but what I'm saying is that for them to sort of teach you about their worlds, you know, like when they show you as well, like, oh, I'm really loving this game at the moment, and it might not be the best thing that you think is awesome in your life, you might think it's a load of rubbish, but honour that and say to them, like, actually, I can see why you like that, that is actually really exciting. You know, look at life from their perspective, see things more from their point of view, you know. And ask them questions, ask them about their lives, like, and I don't just mean, I'm sure you do, but what I'm saying is like, you know, why do you love this band so much? Like, what is it about them that you really love? And like, why do you like, what you know, why do you love this so much? And just let them show you everything, and talk about it, discuss it, you know, tell them about, you know, your life and what it was like for you growing up, you know, get to know each other as people. And honestly, I promise you that the more you do that, the more you'll be like connected people, rather than just, you know, strangers, ships passing in the night. Because I know sometimes with teens, they're like completely like, you don't understand me, you don't get me, you know, and it's hard for them, you know, there's so many emotions involved, like friendships are very fickle and difficult at times, you know, they've got a lot of pressure to look a certain way, you know, there's so many different factors going on, and yeah, the more you kind of are able to make them feel comfortable to talk to you about anything, and for you to kind of look at life from their perspective and get to know it, you know, and kind of just be like in awe of your child, because to be honest, your child is their own human being, you know, and as much as they've learnt so much from you, they've learnt a hell of a lot away from you, you know, and they are their own person first and foremost. So it's lovely for you to just get to know this lovely human being that, you know, you happen to be kind of raising, you know. So anyway, that's my little thought of the day. I've gone a little bit off-piste with the style, but I thought I'd just talk a little bit more from the heart, and yeah, I hope that that's perhaps resonated or given you some food for thought. But thank you very much. Lots of love. Bye bye.